Hey guys, welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. In this video, we'll be addressing the question, what happened to Harry Potter's grandparents? How did they die? James and Lily Potter were murdered by Voldemort at the very young age of 21. The film sort of painted a different picture, in that the actors portraying them are seemingly much older than this. I think that when most people find out just how young James and Lily actually were, they're usually a bit surprised. So if James and Lily were only 21, it should be very safe to assume that some of Harry's grandparents would still be alive. J.K. Rowling has stated, and we've seen, that witches and wizards can live for a very long time, much longer than a usual human. So it always seems unusual that Harry wouldn't have a single grandparent. After all, he should have 4. Let's start with Lily's parents, the Evans. The books have stated that both of Lily's parents died normal Muggle deaths, without going into any detail. We know that they both died sometime between 1971 and 1981. Because in 1971, they saw Lily off to Hogwarts at platform 9 3/4, and in 1981, Lily was murdered. We know them to be dead at this point. It's unusual that they would have died in this time frame, and I'm really not sure what constitutes a normal Muggle death. It definitely isn't old age, because they would have been far too young. So, if it wasn't old age, what's a normal death? Cancer? Heart attack? It's really hard to say. Provided that all of the information we have on their deaths groups them together, and that they were so young, I suspect some foul play. Lily and James Potter were both very outgoing witches and wizards, joining the Order of the Phoenix and actively participating in the fight against evil. This meant that they were very much on the radar of Voldemort and the Death Eaters. In the Harry Potter films, we've seen so many instances of Death Eaters tyrannizing Muggle London and attacking Muggles. So why would Lily's parents be an exception? My theory is that because Lily was so prominent in the fight against evil, having defied Voldemort 3 times, she made her family a target. Because her parents were both Muggles, they would have had no means of defending themselves, and the Death Eaters could have visited them and ended their lives instantly. In a deleted scene from Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Harry approaches Petunia and says the following in reference to the Death Eaters. "They'll torture you. If they think for a moment that you know where I'm going, they'll stop at nothing." To which she responds, "You think I don't know what they're capable of?" To me, this implies that Petunia knows more about the wizarding world than previously implied. She's initially painted as a little bit ignorant towards everything going on, but really I think that she knows exactly what's happening, because she's experienced it before, with not only Lily, but her parents as well. This would also explain her adamant hatred of everything magical. So that's my theory. This of course contradicts what J.K. Rowling has said, so take from it what you will, but I just found myself unhappy with her original answer. Okay, moving on to James's parents. James's parents were Fleamont and Euphemia Potter. They were both pure-blood witches and wizards that came from affluence. Fleamont was the ancestor of Linfred of Stinchcombe, who invented an extensive number of potions. Fleamont himself was also an avid potion maker, and created the Sleek Easy's hair potion, which quadrupled the family's gold. Unlike Lily's mother, Euphemia became pregnant with James much later in her life, and gave birth to him in March 1960. While their deaths were not particularly interesting, there is a little bit more information that has been provided. In my last video, I discussed all of the wizarding diseases, epidemics, and ailments. One in particular, dragonpox, was the cause of both of their deaths. Dragonpox is a contagious disease occurring in wizards and witches that can be fatal. It's similar in nature to the Muggle chickenpox. It leaves little pock marks on the skin and can result in a lasting greenish tinge. In some cases, it can result in a green and purple rash between the toes and sparks that come out of the nostrils when the patient sneezes. It sort of makes sense that they would have both died from this because they were vulnerable and old, and the disease was very contagious. Perhaps because of their age, they weren't able to properly fight the disease, similar to the way that the chickenpox virus intensifies and develops as shingles in adults. I don't have a theory for how they died because I'm satisfied with the explanation given. However, I would have loved to have seen or heard more about these characters in the books and films. And that concludes the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. What do you think of my first theory? Makes sense or out of line for questioning what Rowling has stated? Let me know down in the comment section below. Until next time, you're a wizard, Harry!